Sam, you're going to get us kicked off this week with a bit of skateboarding action.
Yeah, I recently picked up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2
Yeah.
after a bit of deliberation, because obviously it's Activision. So I went and tried to get a second-hand copy. Because as much as I want to support the game and everything, Activision. But Tony Hawk's, though, I'm not going to say no to that. Love the original games. Of course, we did get ports of them on the N64 originally. You got they're interesting ports themselves, worth looking at a Digital Foundry history video for those. But as for these remakes, well, they're basically everything that you could have wanted in a remake, because you got both games. You got all the mechanics from the later games as well. So I think you had things like the revert, so that. And if you want to just jump straight into it, there's a great tutorial in there as well. I mean, normally, tutorials, I'd skip them, but it's all narrated by the Hawkman himself in there, Tony Hawk, which is great. And you just skate around this. I think it's a park that's just made for that tutorial, and it teaches you everything you need to know if you'd never played. Even if you had, I'd still recommend jumping into it. So it's amazing how much you remember, like muscle memory, from the games, and how much you can forget as well. But once I'm into the actual parks, especially I've only played the ones from the first game at the minute. It was just great going in and thinking, I got a checklist of things to do on there. So go in and collect skate and everything, go for the high score and all that. It had been years since I've played it, and all the mechanics are spot on. It's nothing like some of the various games we got over the years, or when they tried to remake it and it didn't quite work out. This is definitely the real deal, and I'm very much hoping that this comes to Switch as rumoured, because I think this would be a great game on the Switch. You've got all the original skaters there, so they've redone, because obviously many years have passed, but they put the current character models in there for all the skaters, so it's great to see a lot of them still going. This is their craft, so it's great to see them doing what they enjoy.
Old Man Hawk,
yeah, that's brilliant. Just skating around there as Tony Hawk. Of course, you can make your own character and everything. You can make your own parks, share them online. I believe there's extensive online functionality as well, leaderboards, and probably the best part is you've got most of the original soundtrack. So any song that you can remember from Tony Hawk's, maybe Worlds, it's like Worlds Collide or anything like that. But anything, or Superman, any tracks like that spring to mind, they're in there. Plus a few new ones. I'd probably rate the older tracks over the newer tracks, but it's good to have a mix in there. You can customise the soundtracks. Yeah, it just feels right. And if you were to compare it, say take maybe the original N64 version of 1 or 2 and put it side by side, obviously there's no comparison really, but you can see what they started off, as a base to go from, and it's completely faithful to the original. I think it's all built up in Unreal Engine. Yeah, it's everything you could have wanted from a remake. Because so many times you see remakes of games and you think, this is going to be really great, and then you get it and something, it just doesn't live up to expectations. But this definitely does. So I'd say, if you'd seen any reviews and maybe we're still on the fence, I'd say it's worth picking up. But if you're waiting for it on the Switch, I'd say maybe just hold out a little bit longer. I think maybe there'd be an announcement coming, especially now that they've Nintendo have moved to monthly directs. I could see this just popping up 1 month maybe soon, definitely filling a gap in the release schedule until more games come out. But yeah, it's a fantastic game in its own right, and Vicarious Visions done a great job to developing the game. And so I mean, if you can't wait, get it on whichever platform you want to buy it for, because as we know, even with the Switch version, there's a possibility it could come out and maybe not be as great. But I'm hoping that the engine looks like it can be scalable, so I reckon there's still potential there. But yeah, I've been having fun playing it though. I played it for a couple of hours and then just kind of stopped playing for a bit. I will go back to it, but it's one of those games you can just put on and think, I'll just play this for a couple of goes, and 2 minute runs. So I'll just go and get that one more thing, just complete all the objectives on here, and before you know it, a couple of hours have passed. So yeah, it's definitely holding my attention, so which is great, because so many games, I'd say this year probably the biggest games have been, well, I think it's probably set to be this, Tony Hawk's and Streets of Rage 4. But it's that kind of gameplay that just kind of hooks you in. Yeah, it's great.
Greg, are you gonna hold off for this?
I'm kind of struggling to wait almost, because it's probably the game I'm probably most excited for the end of the year here, really, and I feel like I'm just waiting for the price to drop a wee bit. I think that if I ever see it for a $5 or $10 off or something somewhere on a sale somewhere, I will absolutely get it on PS4. I think I probably would like to have it digitally, but I imagine it's going to take too long for it to go on sale or whatever. So if I get a good physical copy for a decent price, then I would love to have it within the next couple of months, because Tony Hawk's 3, for example, I always the vibe that I always had around this time of year, coming up towards Halloween and stuff. I always feel like I want to play a wee bit of Tony Hawk's or N-E or whatever. So I kind of want it for then. So yeah, I'm glad that it's really good there, son.
Yeah, no, it's a really great game. I mean, you say you were thinking of picking it up on PS4?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth the money, but obviously, we can't all be buying games like that at full price all the time, because it just wouldn't work out. But yeah, if you're interested in the copy, I may have a spare.
Ooh.
On PS4?
On PS4. Because, as I mentioned before in the forums about trying to get a copy, I did order a copy, and then sadly, because it's eBay, things happen. It's a week passed, didn't turn up, ordered another one. So I have actually got a spare copy.
Interesting. We'll talk numbers later.
Breaking news on the N-E Café podcast. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.